everyone, welcome to this exciting video. Whether you are a beginner, intermediate or advanced level of English, this video is for you. Today we want to test your English level to see how it works for you. I designed about 30 questions, so please try to grab a pencil and paper to go through the questions to understand your English level. Let's get started. Richard has one cat. What is the best answer for that? You have about 5 seconds to think about it. Of course it's C. Why? And 2 dogs. You are talking about 2 kinds of pets, cats and dogs. So of course you have to say and. Why? Because you try to gather them together. They are not opposite of each other to say but. And other options are about cats again. So it's not necessary to separate them. If you want to talk about cats, you talk about them one. This apple tastes the red one. Of course it's C. Why? This apple is sweeter than the red one. Sweet is a one-syllable adjective like sweet, big, large. They have one syllable, sweet. So if you want to compare them, you compare them with, when you are comparing 2 things with one-syllable adjective, you say adjective plus er plus than. For example, this house is bigger than the other house, or this apple tastes sweeter than the other one, or the red one. So it's C, and I hope that everyone answers correctly. Jane and Tom, 15. Of course it's B. Are 15. Why? Because you are talking about 2 people, so it is they. They are 15 years old. For example, I'm 26 years old. You are 30 years old. He is 12 years old. They are 15 years old. They are. If you are talking about your age, of course you should say subject plus to be verb plus the number. I am 25. You are 35. For tomorrow night. The answer is C. I'll check it for you. Why? Because A is past, so it doesn't make sense. I'd like 2 tickets. It is about now. I'd like that. I'd like a pizza. I'd like 2 tickets. So A is not. Afternoon and evening, it doesn't make sense meaningfully. So C is the best one. I'll check it for you now. For example, you are in a travel agency and you go to the person, receptionist and you say, I'd like 2 tickets for tomorrow. I'll check it for you. I'll check it for you. Can I park here? Of course it's C. Only for half an hour. Why? Because other options are not meaningfully correct. So C is the best option for that. So let's go to the next level. We usually meet 8 a.m. Of course it's at. Why? Because for clocks we say at. For example, at 2 p.m. at 3 a.m. at 4 p.m. For month we say in, like in September, in August, in November. For years we say in 2024, in 2025. Every day I do the dishes. I have to do the dishes. Why? Because you are talking about your responsibility. It is necessary for you to be done. For example, every day I have to hold my lessons, or every day I have to Brush my teeth. It is my responsibility. I say 100%. Whatever happens, I have to do it. She do workout. Of course, it's didn't. We understand that this sentence is about the past, not the present time. Why? Because it doesn't have doesn't. If it would have doesn't, of course we would choose doesn't. Why? Because we don't have any time markers. So here we understand that this sentence is about the past, so we say didn't do. If we have did, the verb would be the infinitive. We have three kinds of verbs in English. To be verbs, which are am, is, are in the present, and was and were in the past. Main verbs, which are walk, speak, talk, go. These kind of main verbs has three tenses. The first one is infinitive, like go. The second one is past simple, went. The third one is past participle, gone. Go, went, gone. They are irregular verbs. Or for example, do, did, done. Or for example, try, it is regular. Try, tried, tried. If it is regular, we add ed. I will put some exercises about the verbs. Please try to do them. Thank you very much. I laughed. The movie was so funny. Because you are talking about the reason. So if you are talking about the reason, you say because. For example, I do sport because I want to be healthy. Or I have a cat because she gives me energy. Or I teach English because I love it. So if I say because, I need a sentence here, because another sentence. And in English, sentence is subject plus verb. Next question. I'm sorry, I didn't to disturb you. I didn't mean to disturb you. Meaningfully, mean is correct here. If you don't know the other, this winner is not the last winner. Is not as cold as. If we are trying to compare two things and we are trying to talk about them equally, we say as plus adjective as. For example, I say I'm 25 years old, my sister is 25 years old, so I say we are as old as each other. But if I'm about 25, she's 28, I say we are not as old as each other. She is as beautiful as a fish, for example. Or I can say any pets isn't as beautiful as her, As beautiful as. If we are talking about equality, we say as adjective as. It can be positive or negative. If you are using positive, of course, it means that they are equal. If you are making it negative, it means that they are not equal to each other. Haven't been at home 2010. Since 2010. Why? Because since we use the starting point, for example, since last July, since I was a child, since 2010, But before we use a period of time, for example, for 2 months, for 5 months, for 3 years. She asked me where I lived. It is like indirect question. In indirect questions, when we have WH question, we add that WH word like what, where, how, and after that we delete the auxiliary verb like did, do, does, and we try to transform the verb to the infinitive, where I live. And after the where, what, or how, we should use a sentence, not a question, because you are making it indirect. For example, What is your name? She asked me what my name is. Huh? She asked me what my name is. Or where do you live? She asked me where I live. What do you do? She asked me what I do. Now I ask you a question. Where did you go yesterday? Would you please make it indirect for me and write it in the comments below? How long? English. How long have you been studying English? It is present perfect continuous. We use present perfect continuous for the things that you started in the past, you are doing it now, and you may continue that in the future. For example, for some verbs like live, study, work, mostly for some continuous verbs we use it. For example, how long have you been studying English? How long have you been living here? How long have you been I don't know. How long have you been teaching English? How long have you been working? Huh? Something helps Shaika to fall asleep. It is reading. Very good. Why? Because when we are using a verb as a subject, we have to add ing to it. We should make it gerund. For example, sleeping is a very nice activity for me. Going out makes me energetic. I was looking forward at a new restaurant, but it was closed. I was looking forward to eating. After to, in 99% of the situations in English, we use infinitive verb. For example, I went out to see my friend. It is for saying the purpose. But look forward to is like exception in English. After look forward to, we say gerund verb. For example, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I look forward to eating in this restaurant. Something tired Melissa is when she gets home from work. She always makes time to say goodnight to the children. No matter how. No matter how tired Melissa is when she gets home from work, she always makes time to say goodbye. You see, when we use whatever, however, I don't no matter how, wherever, whenever, we use these plus a sentence, comma, a sentence. And you know, when we say sentence, it means subject plus verb. For example, whatever you do, I love you. Whatever you want, I would buy for you. Here, meaningfully be is correct, no matter how tired she is. The shop didn't have the shoes I wanted, but Dave, a pair especially for me. Dave ordered. Meaningfully, order is correct. We use book, for example, for book a lesson, book a flight. We can't use commended even or ask. They don't match meaningfully, so order is the best. I left my last job because I had no to travel. I had no opportunity or opportunity to travel. Both of them are correct. But it is meaningfully matched. If you don't know the other words' meaning, please check them in the dictionary. She had to find a job because she had money left after her husband's death. Little money. When we say little means close to zero. So she didn't have a lot of money, she had little money. Because of that, she had to find a job. But when we say a little, it means that it is close to the half, not close to the zero. Little and a little are for uncountable, a few and few are for countable. For example, if I have just 2 pens, I say I have a few pens. It means I have, it is enough for me. But if I say I have few pens, it means that I have 2 pens, but it's not enough for me. It is close to 0, so it is not enough for me. It is the difference between a few, and a little, and little. This time tomorrow, I lying on the tropical beach. I'll be lying. It is be. It is future continuous. When we have a definite time in the future, we say that with future continuous. For example, I'll be teaching tomorrow at this time, or I'll be having dinner tomorrow at 9 p.m. It's very dusty here right now because the next door office decorated. The next door office is being decorated. If we have continuous, like future continuous, I don't know, present continuous, anything which is continuous, we have being in the passive form. Here we have present continuous, to be plus being plus PP, past participle. It is being decorated. I can't used to my new schedule. It's so confusing. I can't get used to. When something didn't become your habit, so or it's something becoming your habit, we use get. For example, I'm getting used to running every week, or I didn't get used to wake up early in the morning. We would rather on holiday in August, but we had to wait until September. In the end, we had a great time. We would rather go. After would rather, we say infinitive verb. For example, I'd rather do. I'd rather go. It means I prefer. You don't look well. You'd go to the doctor. You'd better go to the doctor. We say I'd better do. I'd better go. It means I should. Despite the CEO's efforts to the public outcry, the scandal continued to dominate the headlines for weeks. It would be appease. It would be meaningfully correct. If you don't know the meaning of the words, please check them in the dictionary. Thank you. Choose the sentence with the correct use of inversion. It would be, the answer is B. Never have I seen such a breathtaking performance. Why? Because inversion would be used after some specific words like rarely, not only, never, and after that you should change the subject and the auxiliary verb. Option B is correctly matched to the sentence. Complete a sentence using a cleft structure. Something was the sheer determination of the athletes that led them to victory. It would be what? What was the sheer determination? Why? Because in this sentence we use the cleft structure to emphasize the subject. So what is the correct option? Because it introduces the thing that is being emphasized. Here we says what the sheer determination. So it would be what? What was the sheer determination? Sentence correctly uses the idiom the ball is in your court. So the answer would be A. After the manager presented his proposal, he said, the ball is in your court now. It means that you should make your decision. Read the sentence and identify the author's tone. The government's handling of the crisis was nothing short of catastrophic. Not only were they slow to react, but their actions, when taken, were misguided and ineffective. Of course, it's critical. How do I understand that? By the words that are using. When I was reading it, I didn't try to give any tone to that because I wanted you understand it. But here, as it says misguided, ineffective, or slow to react, we understand that they are criticizing the government. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, like it and share it with your friends. Now please count your right answers. If it is between 0 to 5, you are A1. If it is between 5 to 10, A2. 10 to 15, B1. 15 to 20, B2. 20 to 25,